Well, congratulations to the Oklahoma City Thunder. They won the championship. They beat the Indiana Pacers. Chris Alexander led the way with 29 points, 12 dimes. He's the Finals MVP. He had quite the year. Of course, Tyrese Halliburton got hurt, and the Pacers played with a lot of fight and spark. But the third quarter was the turning point. That seems to be the turning point in the series. The Pacers were up by one, but OKC turned it on, and that was it. The defense came to play, and they did enough to win. Pascal Siakam had 16, but it just wasn't enough. Again, without Halliburton being healthy. But to give OKC their due, they had home court. Head coach Mark Dagonauty, I can't say his name, but he came up with some big adjustments to what Rick Carlisle was doing. Give Rick Carlisle his due. Got to give a shout out to Sam Presti, the GM of the Thunder. He finally got that ring after all these great draft picks he didn't had. They finally got it right. So they definitely brought a chip home with all that talent. They finally got one OKC. So much respect. Much respect to the Indiana Pacers. That was a hard fought 7-game series. With all the distractions off the court, with hearing about LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith and Kevin Durant, all this other stuff going on. These two teams came to play, so they're both worthy of acknowledgement. It's just that one team had to win, and I think it was a big one for OKC. I think that they got a chance to only get better, and I do expect Chad Holmgren to get better. Shea will come back stronger. Williams, they got a squad. They're a young team, and they got a chance to come back strong. They'll definitely only get better. Same thing with the Pacers. Like I said before, I wouldn't mind if this was the finals for the next 2 or 3 years, because I think these two teams are what I call quality young teams that got a chance, you know. But OKC was the best team all year. They won 68 games. Two hard fought 7-game series. Sometimes it ain't as easy as it appears to be, but they did enough. They won on the road. They were able to be road warriors, and they were able to do what they're supposed to do. So, um, they think they did what they did. Everything kind of came along. Now, Shea Alexander did not have the best of shooting nights by no means. But again, he only had one turnover, which was key. And he kept himself paced and composed. Again, showed a lot of poise. And it will only fuel to his legacy. Now, as I said before, now that he's got this chip, how does he fare against Jokic and Giannis? Because he's got the chip, he's got the finals MVP, regular season MVP, but he's also scoring champion. So he's got a lot of hardware and, got a lot of upside to what he's doing. So it's a very impressive win for them, even though, But again, the Pacers got nothing to hold their head down about. Halliburton come back stronger. They get that one adjustment piece that they need. They could very well be back again. So, but OKC definitely has a bright future. Sam Presti has been one of the best GMs for all the people he's drafted. So this is a second title if you include the Sonics, OKC's Thunder history. Sonics won in 79. OKC wins it this time. Second finals appearance in Thunder era. And if you go with the Sonic situation, this is Sonic's Thunder. If you combine the two, fourth appearance overall, 2-2. And very impressive for OKC. Very impressive. So we will see where things go. It's a lot. The coach did a good job. This is what you play for, And when people talk about ring culture, well, hey, this is exactly what's up, because this is how, the difference is really. And if you have the kind of year that Shea Chris Alexander had, you have to win the chip. That's the way the rig kind of goes. So if he didn't win with everything else he had going on, it'd have been kind of like an incomplete. But now he's got the chip, scoring title, regular season MVP, Western Conference Finals MVP. So that's an impressive resume. But for the OKC fans, that's a big thing. And to do it at home was huge. So, but I also want to congratulate the Indiana Pacers. Because again, this is one of them series. It could have gone either way. But OKC had enough talent, enough depth to get it done. And it was really a third quarter. And without Tyrese Halliburton, and it just showed that OKC went up another notch. So that was very impressive for them. So we'll see what happens. I'll be probably doing some. I'll probably talk about a little bit about the series. I think it needs to be emphasized more, considering the disrespect. But it was a very hard fought, close series. Both teams are like two heavyweight fighters. These two teams had the best records in the NBA since January. So you had the right teams, and they had the right chemistry. And it just came down to a couple things here and there. So that's how we remember it. But anyway, let me know what you thought about this series. And would you like to see these two teams again? Do you think they each will get back to the finals again? How you remember the season? And your thoughts and takes on OKC and Shea. Because he had quite an incredible season when it's all said and done. 68 wins, and then they cashed out by winning the chip. Please like, subscribe, work on thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share if you like. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out one time. Peace.